Okay.
Okay, so fermented cabbage we're making. And I'll do another slice and I'll show them what it looks like. Yeah. Okay, this way. And here we got slices.
Nice.
Kind of makes a mess a little bit here, but yeah. So this is a lot easier than doing it, by hand.
Perfect.
I have my sister helping me out here. She's breaking down the cabbage and squeezing all the water out of the cabbage. Takes a lot of time, patience. If you do it the right way, and you'll get enough water actually where you won't have to add any water, especially city water. Make sure you wash your filthy hands. You may think they're clean, but I wash them really good. Looking good. We use pink Himalayan salt, a tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt per head of cabbage. See, all that came out of the cabbage. It's a lot of water. We're not going to add one drop of extra water. If you have to, use distilled water. In the video here, we are actually using 3 heads of cabbage, believe it or not. And all that water you see there is from the cabbage itself. Yeah, now filling up a nice big old glass jar. So between the salt and the natural water from the cabbage, it creates called a brine solution. The brine solution is what creates the fermentation process. It's breaking down the cell walls of the cabbage. That's what it's doing when it ferments. You want enough water actually to cover the top of the cabbage after you put it in the jar, a glass jar we used. So you're going to pound it down really good to get any air pockets from in that jar. Air pockets is oxygen, and oxygen is the enemy. It can create mold if you have oxygen in there. Now, make sure you get any this stray bits and pieces of cabbage and whatever else off the inside of the jar that's above the water, because it will create mold. Get all that out of there. Everything's got to be below the water and no air pockets. Now we saved the leaf here to put on top to hold everything down. All that cabbage, hold it down below the water, below the brine. And you want to put something on top of this. You'll see here. We're going to find a cup, weigh it down to keep all that cabbage below the brine solution. So there's no oxygen. Oxygen, mold, bad. But we found a jar that would actually fit pretty good. This is just to keep everything down so nothing floats up and it gets air, then you get mold. So you want to make sure you got something that sits in there nice and keep everything down. Keep it submerged in the brine. Okay, so we don't want to get bugs in here, but yet we want it to burp. But you got a rubber band in there? Hey, I'll take this one. Thanks. So what I'm going to do is not seal it, but not completely perfectly, because you want it to burp, right? So I think we'll leave like a little opening like that so it can burp.
Actually, you put that there.
But the rubber band is going to be keeping the bugs out of there and shit. Something like that. Anyhow, you'll figure it out. So let's take this good shit. Sauerkraut. Probiotics. 100% natural. In about 4 to 6 weeks, I'll be eating this. And my biome, my gut, will be like, I love you. I'll be like, I love you. Let's go. Okay, now we're going to set it on a towel, because if it like burps and bubbles over, you don't want it to run all over the place. And we keep it in a warm environment, about 67 degrees, 70, for about 4 to 6 weeks. The longer the better. When it's all ready, all you got to do is put it in the fridge to stop the fermentation process. And so in that big jar, 3 heads. You know what they say, 3 heads are better than 2.